We got a fun-filled show tonight.
I met a boy today.
It's your boy, Coach Career, the General, 860 Army.
She loving my style every time I'm.
You ain't need more money, Tito. You could have just invited 6 or 8 you down to nationals.
I'm around.
When certain people don't get their way or they feel slighted, they feel like they have a right to call us and voice their opinion. You don't.
The hood, we locked the
Clear. I've never removed a staff to allow a staff to move up.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Now everybody's a personal trainer. We know who the originals are, but now if you look, you can find them in every town.
What up? How everybody doing tonight?
Let me get
Hope
these
all
shares
is
out
well.
there. What up, my brother?
Hope all is well out there. So we can get right into the proceedings this evening. Oh, I gotta share. Off my game with the podcast. I'm gonna get back to it. How y'all all doing out there? Hopefully everything is good. Podcast. I'm gonna get back to it. And my phone all loud. What's up, everybody? Tap in, tap in, tap in.
All right, we good to go, player. You ready?
Yeah. Yeah. Nate, what up, Nate? I see you at the field. 12U. New Haven Reloaded. Talk to me, Nate. Give me insight. I think we'll come to your next training session and go live. A little live insight. See how the Steelers doing. Anyway, people still getting on, Tito. It ain't really, people want, but we're going to get started.
Don't matter, bro.
58, the Prez, Mr. Above 140. And I'm here with my co-host.
It's your boy, Coach Career, the General, 860 Army.
860 Army. 860 Army. What up, Cuddy?
What up, Cuddy Man? What up, Cuddy Man? I see you got Worcester in the first round of NEYT. We're going to talk to that. We're going to talk about that tonight.
Yes, we are.
We're going to talk about that.
But, Tito, before we get to that, let's talk about some new Pop Warner rules. AU D1 headed down to nationals, Tito. What you think about that?
I mean, it's not the first time I've ever seen it happen. I mean, I think it's going to put strain on programs that weren't prepared to travel with kids that young. But if you do it with 9-year-olds, I don't see why you can't do it with 8-year-olds. You get what I'm saying? Because usually there's heavy parental involvement at the younger ages as far as when it comes to traveling and all that other stuff. You're still going to get mommy and daddy wanting to travel with the kids and all that. You don't get as many kids that are sent on their own at the younger ages from what I gather and what I've seen. I've never been there with a team that young, so I couldn't tell you. But I've seen you go with a 9. I've seen past PAL teams go with 10s. I mean, so why not let the 8s go?
Hey, I think it's a good thing. I think Pop Warner is making us smart. And what up, M? Rudolph, what up? We gotta get you on the podcast to talk about them rankings. We'll talk about that in a second. But
E the Guru, what up, Emerson? E Status from the LeVay days. Y'all don't remember LeVay? You remember LeVay, Phil? You don't remember LeVay? The first youth,
in the chat.
Yeah, the first youth forum. That was the first one before them all. That was the first one, the original LeVay.
All right, but back to what I was saying. I think Pop Warner's making a smart business move by going 8U. Because like you said, I think the families, mom, pops, even grandparents will go down there and watch an 8-year-old play. So I think that's a good thing financially. Second of all, sports seem to be going younger and younger, just in the general sense of getting out there, exposure, etc. I mean, now we got NIL deals and youth sports, Tito. You know this, Tito. There was a bet online betting on the Hartford Hurricanes West Chase game.
Yeah.
Live online betting where you can put up real money.
It was definitely live.
When we talk about that part, I think it's only right 8U. I will put to you that they're going to be considering in a year or two 6U going. You got it in AYF, you got it in UIFL. So I think 6U is going to be eligible soon as well. I saw somebody put, 8U could go to Florida. Yes, they can. It is true. 8U can go to Florida. Division I only. I think it's going to be nice. I think it's a good thing. There was a cool discussion around it. I think it'll be a good thing nationwide for Pop Warner. And also, well, anyway, that's my take on 8U. I think 8U is going to be a good thing, Tito. And I think that because as of since 2019, Pop Warner's been allowing it to regional championships. Because before that, Tito, 8U wasn't even at a regional championship like 6U is. I remember 2019 because that was the first year in West Haven, that 13U team that all of us in New England know about, and even nationally, they were like one of the first teams to win an 8U regional championship. I think they was the first team in New England because at that time we were only doing one level nationwide. They were the first 8U team to win a regional championship. And so now that we have been at regionals for 6 years, I think it's time to push them down to the next thing. And also, Pop Warner is doing, I want to reiterate this for everybody, a flag tournament down at Nationals. Register your team before September 1st. There is a national flag tournament down at Pop Warner Nationals. You can compete for a national championship. You do not have to be a Pop Warner organization. Okay? They're taking ages, I think, all the way up to 18, Tito. That, to me, it could blow up. Women, young ladies, young men, flag teams all around the nation. If you're interested, I'm sure Pop Warner be putting something out. I have no information on that right now, but Pop Warner's going to be putting something out. If you got flag and you really about that life and you really want to compete for a national chip, you can go down to Pop Warner Nationals. Same week as North Carolina, same fields that National Pop Warner is going to be playing on. You can play your flag championship down there. And I think that's dope because that's what they be doing. Isn't that what they do in ESPN Wide World of Sports?
I have no idea, brother. Ever since Pop Warner left Wide World of Sports, I don't know what's going on over there.
I know they was at Disney World because I saw Larry Myers and them played out there. So, right after when January's their big tournament over there, I believe, or February. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And anybody can register, right? Or do you
I have no idea. I think you got to qualify for that one. I believe you have to qualify for that one. Yeah, you can't just show up there with a team. Not anybody could just show up. I think you have to qualify for the year before. However they do it, I'm sure Larry could explain that world to you. That's out of my realm. That's out of my realm of things that I know about.
But anyway, 8U D1 headed to Pop Warner Nationals. That's going to be a great thing for everybody nationwide. It's going to be hard to do rankings for 8U because don't nobody know what was going on at 6U or 7U or at 8U really nationwide. So how that thing play out and how that thing come together will be dope. Yeah, anyone can register for that. Rodney Meyer said anyone,
Oh, okay.
AYF,
There you
Pop
go.
Warner, Independent can register for the flag tournament.
I got
So
you.
if you got a flag team, and you're interested, keep up with Pop Warner, keep up with the podcast. We'll put the information out when we get it. But it's definitely going to be out there. All right, Tito, talk to me. NEYT.
What's going on?
Playoff bracket.
First, yeah, we into the playoff brackets. We're into the playoff round. Obviously, it's a league-wide shutdown this weekend. I don't believe there's any games. But obviously, let me preface this with shouting out my nephews, Louis and Joshua, for going down to Mass and putting the beat down. Putting the beat down on almighty Jordan Lark and the Top Gun AU. You know what I'm
Jordan,
saying?
you ain't putting the All-Star game, Jordan, are you?
Oh, damn.
Let's not put too much pressure on Jordan. I don't want him
that was the game. I believe that was the game of the week. The two top teams. Then you had the other one. I would say would be the 14U with Hunt and them going over there to Meriden. Those were the two biggest games of the weekend. Obviously, we know the outcome of both of them, but we're into the playoff rounds, and we'll start
real quick. Hey, Ryan, we can't look at people that won their sevens league because in New England we don't do 7U, we do 8U. But go ahead, Tito.
We will start with 9U standard, the 9U standard division. The 9U standard division with New Britain being the number 1 seed.
New Britain
9U.
Wow.
Yep, the New Britain Power Raiders 9U. That's my nephews Louis and Joshua's team. They are playing Rhodey. They are playing Rhodey Elite in Westerly on Saturday, the May 31st. Saturday, May 31st. The first round is New Britain Power Raiders versus Rhodey Elite.
What? How many teams made the playoff?
In this bracket, it looks like 6.
Okay. So that's 1 versus 6?
This is 1 versus, 6. And then the next team, I think the next 2 seeds looks like it's the Silverbacks 9U versus Springfield Cowboys, who's 3-1. That's 9U. That's the other game in the round 1.
That's 4, but what are the other 2 playing?
And that's the CT Outlaws and Mass Destruction. It looks like all these games, one of them is in Springfield, one of them is in Bridgewater, Mass. The other one's in Westerly. We're in Westerly somehow as the number 1 seed, but going in the Roadies area.
One got a question. Mark said, how is New Britain number 1 seed? Strength of schedule should be considered in seeding. Good luck, General.
We are the number 1 seed last I heard, Mark. According to what I heard yesterday, I believe we're the number 1 seed at 13U as well.
Let me ask you something, Tito. With 6 teams, how are they getting down to 1? I'm confused.
Good question. Hold on. I ain't see the bracket. I'm just giving you the matchups.
Oh, okay.
Somebody's gonna have a bye, obviously, somewhere. Somebody's gonna get one in the championship, I would assume.
Yeah,
You got 3 games. You got 3 games. Yeah. It's 3 games.
I would have thought 1, 2, and 3 had a bye. And well, no, there's 6 teams. Yeah, I would have thought
there's 3 first round games.
Right. Well,
so somebody's gonna get I would assume somebody's getting a bye unless there's a part of this bracket I'm missing, but that's what I got.
No, keep going.
That's
all right, but those are the games for
9U standard. Yep, 9U standard. Now we're gonna go 9U Premier. You got Worcester versus the Rockhoppers. The Worcester Cowboys versus the Rockhoppers. You got Rhodey Elite versus Top Gun. You got the Red Dogs. No, that's the wrong one. You got and then you got the Tar Heels versus a team that's to be determined. So the winner of those two, somebody's gonna play into the next round.
It looks like it's on their website.
Yep.
The
No, I
game.
got it. There's only five teams in Premier. There's only 5 teams in Premier.
You're talking about the Premier division now.
In the Premier division, right? You got Worcester Cowboys versus the Rockhoppers. You got Rhodey Elite, Top Gun, and then you got the Tar Heels that's to be determined. So somebody that wins from there, and then there's going to be a bye in that division as well.
Okay.
So that's 9U Premier. Now, let's go to 11U Standard. 11U Standard, you have the Red Dogs versus Mass Destruction. You have the Silverbacks versus Twin City Thunder, where I've been asking where Twin City from. I have no idea. You have the Tenfold Storm versus the Rhode Island Tar Heels, and then the Springfield Cowboys against the CT Outlaws. So Randy Lester got 2 teams in the playoffs in the spring. Peace to Central Connecticut Pop Warner. That's the Springfield Cowboys. That's your team, Phil.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
That's Randy's team?
Yeah, that's Randy's team. So
that's
you got
Springfield team? Wow.
Springfield versus CT Outlaws.
Yeah,
you got Tenfold versus the Rhode Island Tar Heels. You got the Silverbacks versus Twin City Thunder. You got the Red Dogs versus Mass Destruction. That's a good division right there. The 11U Standard. Yeah. 11U Premier. You have the New England Brotherhood versus the Worcester Cowboys. You have the Rock Hoppers versus the Junior Lancers. You have the CT Pride versus Top Gun. And you have Rhodey Elite versus the Rhode Island Tar Heels at 11U Premier. That's a field division there as well.
Let me present so people get an idea what I'm looking at.
I hope it's what I'm looking at. Yeah, similar.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go right there. Rhodey Elite versus the Tar Heels, 10:30 to 12. Yep. We got it.
Yep.
You got, here we go. You have the Brotherhood versus Worcester, is what you said at 3 o'clock. Rock Hoppers versus the Junior Lancers, 5 to 6:30. 5:30 to 7. CT Pride is playing
Top versus Top Gun.
So it's looking like CT Pride is the last seed. Top Gun is the number 1 seed, I'm assuming. 0-3 and 1-4-1. This looks like the middle seed here. I don't know. This looked like maybe they would be the number 2 team because they're the only 2 4-1 teams. So they get the easier games at the bottom. Okay, I got you. Those are all going down in Mass. A lot. Do they not play any games in Connecticut? I noticed all of this stuff takes place in Mass. Why is Connecticut
or Rhode Island? And I saw a game in Springfield. So we're at 13U. 13U Standard. That's the division we're in.
Well, you could tell me if this right. It looked like Mass Destruction, 13U versus the Silverbacks.
Yep.
That's at Manning Field, 30.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Worcester Cowboys versus Boston Ravens. Ocean State Elite against us, the Power Raiders, and then we played them game 1. And then you have there's a game missing Tenfold. You got Tenfold Prep versus CT Outlaws right there. Yep.
Now who's your number 1 seed? Because there's 2 5-0 teams.
From what I understood from the last text I got, we're the number 1 seed because we
y'all both played 2, 3, and 2. Do you know how they decided that? Just
coin flip. There was a formula between points forward, points against. It went down in line, and then the third part was a coin flip, and it was a flip of the coin, 2 out of 3, and I guess we won the coin flip.
It looked like y'all both 5-0 teams got pretty decent competition. They both 3 and 2, so looked like it's pretty decent competition. All right, 14U Standard.
No, you got to do 13U Premier.
Huh?
13, you forgot the Premier division in 13.
Yeah, it was out of place. My bad. Schedule. All right, let's go. And we got starting Worcester Cowboys versus the Rock Hoppers.
Yep.
Junior Lancers versus CT Pride. CT Pride is undefeated. Shout out to CT Pride.
Yep.
It looked like CT Pride might be
Tar Heels versus
the number one
Rhodey
seed.
Elite.
Tar Heels versus
And then
Rhodey Elite. Yep, the
it's
Rock
Rhodey
Hoppers.
Elite.
It looked like the Rock Hoppers is the number one seed. They got an 0-5 team, whereas CT Pride may be 2 with the 1-4 team. With
Well,
the middle,
because they're 3-0, they missed the game. It looks like, or they missed 2 games. So it looks
Yeah.
like Rock Hoppers would be the number one seed.
number one seed. Yep. Wow, good bracket. And all of these games again. All of those games are in Mass and Rhode Island. I don't know what up with Connecticut, man. We gotta
I offered.
get some games in Connecticut.
Well, Westerly ain't that bad though. Westerly's right outside Connecticut, bro. It's right outside.
But it ain't Connecticut. I'm
saying it ain't the worst of rides for us.
No, I don't think none of it's far. I'm not claiming it's far by no means. I'm just saying no games are taking place in Connecticut. That's all.
This is Premier. It looks like you got Quabog Panthers versus Ocean State Elite, Chelsea Bears versus Worcester Vikings, and then Southern New London County Mutiny versus Connecticut Outlaws.
And that's 14U. Oh, okay. 14U. And that's 14U regular.
Yeah, I believe so. No, yeah, standard. And then you got a little 14U Premier.
All right. Let's go to Premier. See what's going on. All right, the CT Pride 14U is playing the Worcester Cowboys.
Cowboys, yeah.
Bomb Squad.
Rhodey Elite.
Playing
That's
Rhodey
Hunt.
Elite.
That's Hunt.
That's
Hunt
just
and the boys
last weekend.
Yeah, he lost. They lost.
And then Rock Hoppers versus the Rhode Island Tar Heels.
Tar Heels. Yeah.
The number one seed would be Hunt. I guess Hunt the number one seed here.
How they getting down to 2 there as well. Oh, if you look, no, they play the same weekend.
Yeah,
that's going to be interesting. Somebody gets a bye into the championship. Somebody's going to get the bye into the championship.
The Brotherhood got a bye. I didn't scroll down. So it'll be down to 4 with 3 winners, with the Brotherhood waiting for the lowest seed. I'm assuming since the Brotherhood's undefeated, they get to wait for the lowest seed.
Yep, that could be.
Hey, right, what's up, brother? I assume Joe Copeland. This is pop business. Ain't got nothing to do with you, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's just keep doing what we're doing here. Go. But yeah, so that wraps it up. That wraps up the NEYT playoff picture.
Wait. What about the showcase? Is that over? Do they not play?
I don't know. I don't know too much about that.
All right, let's see what they got going on. Oh, look like they got games. We got games. SNLC Mutiny. Ain't that's out of Southern New London County?
Yeah, New London County. Yeah.
Yep. Playing the Chelsea Bears. And that game is in Mass. Then the Boston Rebels. That's the Raiders and them out there, right? Playing the Worcester Cowboys, 15U. Hey, Boston Rebels, y'all better come to play. It don't look like y'all won a game all year, and Worcester looks to be the number one seed. Oh, no, Tenfold is the number one seed. They're sitting here waiting, which is going to be weird because there's going to be 3 teams after this weekend to play, which is and they play next weekend. So I guess one of these teams will get a bye to the chip, if at least, because if they're going to play next weekend, and this will be down to 2 to next weekend, that'll be 3 teams next weekend. And if Tenfold play, 3 teams can't play one game. So that looks like is wrapping up your NEYT championships. You got any favorites, Tito? Who you think is going to win these different?
Hopefully the Power Raiders at 13 and then 9. That's my picks. Me and my nephews. Those are my picks.
Hey Frankie, this actually not Pop Warner. The rule change at the beginning was, but this is like all over. This is a little bit of everything, man. I think Pop Warner kids, local kids, everybody kind of mix up and play and and play in the NEYT Bowl. So it's not really Pop Warner, but you know, it's kind of like Pop Warner.
Just get Josh. Tell Josh to come on. Let nephew come on. Tell nephew to come on so he could talk his shit about what happened last weekend.
Yo, you want to get on, nephew? I'm gonna inbox you. We'll get you on after this next topic. That's how about that.
Send him to his Facebook Messenger. That's the easiest.
Yeah. I'm gonna send it to him, the Facebook Messenger. But in the meantime, Tito, we do have a topic to discuss. And I want everybody out there to stay tuned because this is a topic that I want to discuss. Now, let me predicate this properly so y'all can understand what my question is. Why is winning looked at as selfish, non-caring, and in it for the wrong reason in youth football, in New England especially? Tito, let me explain what I mean. Oftentimes, Dennis, what's up? Oftentimes,
what up, Paver?
No, not oftentimes. Let me say this, Tito. If I came on this podcast right now and I said, you know what? This year, Tito, my goal is to win. I'm all about winning. I'm all about winning this championship and winning the national championship. People instantly, especially in New England, gonna go, yo, you win this for the wrong reason. They're going to say to me, Phil, you selfish. It's not about you. They're going to say, it's about the kids, Phil. It's not about you. You so caught up on winning this little youth football championship. It's not about you. So I want to know something from everybody out there. Why is winning looked at in that light in New England? The rest of the country don't view it like that. The rest of you saw Friday Night Lights, Tito. You saw the guys down south in Texas. All they talked about was winning. Nobody ever castigated them in their community. I don't care about what the world said. In their community, nobody in Texas got mad at those guys or was like, yo, why? Yo, it's not about you. It's about these kids. Why you all worried about winning? Talk to me, people. Why is... and I'm in New England. I'm not even going to take a shot at New England. All I'm going to say is, to me, that's a loser's mentality. And I'm going to tell you why, Tito. You had said something. I'm going to let you say what you said. Then I'm going to come back. Because you had said something competitive football versus non-competitive football when we talked about this. You want to bring that up or you want me to keep going?
I mean, well, there's a lot of things. Like, again, those are one of those terms that I feel is overused. You know, as soon as you talk about women, people talk about, well, it's about development and all that. Well, to me, it's all the same conversation. Like, for you to put a good product out there, and if you want to put the best product out there, that's because you have winning in mind. And I just think it's too easy for people to say, especially when they're not good at something or they don't understand coaching logic, oh, it shouldn't be all about winning. You know, and that's something that's happened again. That's one of those things that's changed over the last 30 years where as a culture, we've gotten soft on it because nobody does, and none of us do this to be on the losing end of it. So when people say, oh, it shouldn't be all about that bullshit, I don't want to be part of no program where we're not trying to win, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think since we're going to bring it up, yes, you do have certain types of leagues where that is not showcased in their league because they're playing in their little conference championship and that goes over. I think if you join the competitive world, the travel world, there's a little more premium put on that because that's where you start seeing all the people start to hood hop and all the crazy things. Nobody wants to play for a loser. You know what I'm saying? So I think there is a difference because there are some leagues that don't care and they don't allow you to park hop and they don't allow you to go to other organizations. But then you got the leagues we play in. So I think there's a silver lining and a fine line of what you're looking for as a parent.
Maura, what do you mean it depends on how you speak about winning? Please, look, dude, in my opinion, there is no wrong way to speak about winning. There's no wrong way to speak about winning, dog. Like, nobody, let me ask y'all something. What if you brought your kids to the Hartford Hurricanes and I'm the head coach And the first day of practice, I say, look, guys, our goal is not to win. Our goal is to just develop you. And if we go 0-10, that's perfectly fine as long as you get a little better at football. Would anybody out there be okay with that statement? I'm going to say it again. I agree. Dennis, I agree.
100% agree. I think they come hand in hand. I think they go hand in hand.
I agree.
If you
I
develop
think
in the right way,
people use that term because it's an excuse. So if they lose,
it's overused.
they can fall back on something. Oh, I lose. I don't care if I don't make it to nationals. At least I developed the kids.
Yeah,
everybody cares. Okay. I see every kid cry in the playoffs when it's over. Don't tell me you don't care as a coach. You're lying. I've been coaching over 20 years. Again, I still get nervous on championships.
It's an overused term, and it's so exactly the word is soft. But that's also the society that where we're at now as a people. Everybody gets a trophy. Everybody got to play. There was a time where it wasn't like that, and I think that as Americans, we all need to get back there. Period. Because
so I'm gonna say this though. Go ahead. Finish up.
It's not good, bro. Kids being handed things and everybody being created. We know we're not all created equally. This is one of those conversations again. We're not all What's he saying?
I do not, Mike. See, I don't subscribe that you have to say something different to a 14-year-old than a 9-year-old. Because in order for that 9-year-old to be on that trajectory of that successful 14-year-old, we got to talk that stuff to him at 9. We can't wait till 14 to tell him, yes. I'm not going to wait till a kid is 14 to create what I think is a non-loser's mentality. At 9-year-old, they're going to know the goal.
Listen,
our goal is to win. Every time we take the field, our goal is to win. And practice, you're going to get better. But my goal is to win in the game.
And if it's not winning, we are going to compete at a high level. I don't mind losing, but we better lose every game 7-6, 10-9. You know what I'm saying? 12-9. You know, as long as we're competing, that's what matters most at the end of the day. Are your kids developing? Are you competing in every football game? Those are the two things that matter. To say that it's not all about winning, it's bullshit because we all strive to win. You should be striving to win. If you're out there volunteering your time, giving other kids your time and taking away from your own family, I would hope that you're going out there to try to win. I don't want to hear that all about
it. Doesn't matter what's on the line, though, right? Like, so let's take the CTYFL. I don't care if their championship is at South Windsor in the backwoods and they're playing local football.
I'm trying to win it.
Your goal is to win that championship. The Nutmeg League, your goal, West Hartford, is to win the championship. It's not to let's just develop the kids, and if we get beat 30-0, it's okay. Johnny can throw a better pass at the end of the season than he could at the beginning. Cool, but that means the kids can't block worth a damn. Because if you're developing your children, you will win football games.
Absolutely.
That's it. I don't care. And again, I only hear this, you know, and I'm gonna point it out. We constantly get this recycled conversation about, and look, all of y'all, some of y'all in the comments end up liking these conversations often, right? What happens is some of y'all in the comments, y'all, I see them. I ain't gonna say no names. I see posts out there. Yo, some of these coaches think the game is all about them. Who gives a damn if you win your little youth football trophy? It's about developing these damn kids, not about you winning your youth football trophy. You a goddamn lie. It is about me hoisting a trophy. I feel good. I'm going to tell y'all why I feel good when I hoist the trophy. You know why? Because I feel like I accomplished something. See, in your mind, when y'all hear that, y'all think I'm talking about a life goal. No. I'm talking about, I took a group of kids that maybe was good, maybe wasn't good. And every week, because only coaches see this in their own teams. Because when you're playing football against opponents, not me, I typically don't watch another team's all season, right? I'm focused on my next opponent. But I watch my team in August not being able to really run track perfectly, not being able to run counter. Now watch them week 1. We may not run it that week. We sharpening it. And then I watch them week 3, and they ran it. Looked pretty good. But then I watch it in the championship, and it hit, and we scored time after time after time. I watch the development. When I hoist the trophy and I'm a proud coach, it's not that, oh, this is my life dream. No, it's that I saw these young men get better every week. And only a coach on the internal side really see the weekly development of their coach. So to ask that coach not to want to hoist that trophy so he could say, this trophy here, this is a symbol of my hard work. Y'all forget, some of us coaches really work hard. Some of us got huddle, and we watch huddle film every week. We have a weekly meeting every Monday night at 9 o'clock, and we scout the other team. We play all day Saturday. Do we sit in the house and watch the NFL on Sunday? No.
I'm out there. I'm out there on Sundays.
Me and Tito we was out in Stratford a couple times last year. We're driving hours away to go
Waterbury.
scout.
I did Bloomfield, Waterbury. I did a Bloomfield, Waterbury one Sunday last year. Started in Bloomfield.
And when your whole weekend taken up, I'm not supposed to be happy because one of y'all internet guys says that some youth football coach don't be happy. Let me ask y'all something. Y'all don't say that to Trinity College coach. Or they're going to say he get paid. That's why. So your happiness is based on the amount of monetary value you get. I thought it was about work. Happiness is supposed to come from the work. The high school coaches barely get paid. They're happy when they win. Nobody ever tell the baseball kids on ESPN, Tito, from Fairfield County, that baseball league that play their championship, the World Youth Series. Nobody ever tell those coaches not to be happy. We only say that in the youth football realm. And it's oftentimes said by those coaches that lose. I've never heard a national championship coach. I never heard a coach win a national championship and say, all y'all concerned about is winning. Y'all too happy it's not about you. Never heard it. I heard them give credit to their kids, credit to their coaches. I think it's corny. My opinion, y'all don't have to believe it or accept it or like it or nothing. In my opinion, I'm going to tell y'all, stop piping down youth football coaches. If you out there, bro, be happy. I don't give a damn what happened. Be happy because you know what? The more your kids win, the more they gain a winner's attitude. There's no kid I ever seen happy going 0-10 and getting beat by 40. I don't care who you are. I don't care how good you develop him. Ain't no kid gonna be happy. Championship or bust with my kids. I preach that. Whether or not people like it, I don't give a F. True. I don't care either.
Hey, I agree with you. 1,000%. I agree with you.
When it comes with doing things right, as long as you do right by the kids and correct coaching.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
That's part of the pedigree. I agree football is about winning, but at 9U, is development more important in order to win with the 14, 15-year-olds? But I agree with y'all.
I think there's a way to develop.
Actually, I think that's not true. I think people have this belief that it's more about development with 9U than it is 14U. I coached both in the last 2 years, and I'm here to tell you it's much harder to win at 14U than it is 9U. You actually can win a lot more games at 9U without development. Because 90% of the times, you can run a reverse at 9U and break big. 99% of the time. At 14U, if you're playing solid, real coaching at 14U, a reverse is not going to trick these kids. They've been doing this for a while. I think it's the opposite, and I think people oftentimes think 9U should be more about development. No, 14 is more about development because they're playing higher skill players, right? Why is it more about development, Tito? We got to install cover 3, Tito. Cover 2, man-to-man, maybe cover 1, cover 0. We're installing more blitz packages, more coverages, more offensive plays. Maybe we running a spread and a double wing and a wing T. Like at 9U, Tito, what you can run 4 plays and maybe 1 defense. You can get out of here. You don't have to develop as much. So I think it's opposite, but it seemed like and again, I believe you can teach 9-year-olds. Tito, you were able to teach. I saw you teach some 10-year-olds exactly what you teach your 13-year-olds. Obviously, you couldn't dump as much on them, but you didn't go down there and say, I gotta talk different. I gotta coach different.
No, because you have to teach them the same way. You have to teach them the same way. Now, do you get crazy? You can't get crazy. You might not be able to do as much, but the base is the base. The basis is the base is the basis. Now,
right.
how far you go with the basics is dependent on how much they can take. At that age, definitely at 9, how much who could take in is a thing. But it absolutely can be done. I don't change my approach, even with 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 8-year-olds. We're gonna see an all-star game. I'm not changing my approach with the 8-year-olds. The approach is the approach. Now, how much we throw at them is subject to change because of age, obviously.
The conversation is ridiculous. So you telling the people that say it's all about development, go out and get a job just to develop better work skills? Hell no. You go to work to get promotions, get the bonus, and get the max money. True?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm 100% on winning. I thought the subject was about how people talk about winning. It is how you talk about winning. No, it's not how you talk about winning. It's how other people perceive
when you talk about winning. So,
Maura, what I'm saying is, when you talk about winning, it's oftentimes perceived as you being selfish in youth football if your goal and object is to win. People see that as selfish only in youth football, though. No other sport, and mainly in New England, but typically youth football network, they'll tell you it's about development. It's not about you. They'll oftentimes say that. The goal is to win, end of story. Even when you're developing players, the goal is to win 100%.
Absolutely.
And people got to stop pitting one against the other, because these are parallel, right? They're not cross. You can develop players and win. You can want to develop players and want to win. Your goal can be to win 100% and develop players 100%. The two don't cross. You don't have to pick and choose. It's only a few true dogs out there. Everybody have to get developed. I'm not spending my summers on fields just to lose in the fall. True. I mean, who's going to put in all this work, right, just to go out there and lose? And like that, those posts, I'm going to tell you, I saw a post in New England that bothered me to my core that made me come up with this. People said things not appropriate, or some people said things not appropriate or purpose or perfect. One player can change the game at 9U. True.
That's true. I agree with that. As
you get older, it's tougher. If you have the best athlete at 9U on the field, 9 times out of 10, you're going to win. That's close to being true. Rhode Island Tar Heels elite, develop and win. Straight facts, it could be done. It could be done. Now, let me twist this on y'all. Sometimes I like to argue both sides of the coin just for conversational purposes. If y'all out there had a son and you had to pick and choose, hypothetically, between a coach over here that do not have the talent to win, you know you're going to go 0-10, but he's great at developing, going through drills and etc., or going to this coach over here who really don't develop kids, but he knows how to win his youth football games, who you going with? I'll ask you first, Tito. We know coaches that win that don't develop. You and I talk about it all the time. We know this.
I'm going to go with the coach. I'm going to go with the coach that, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier, and I think that's what you was talking about. That is not only going to develop, but they're going to compete at a high level, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So
you're going with Coach One, the coach that
I'm
probably won't win it all, but your son will develop.
He'll be a better football player when he leaves there, yes. That's
what say y'all? What are y'all going with?
I'm not going with the guy that's just running shit. That's just.
Don't say no names. It almost slipped out.
Let the crowd talk.
It almost slipped out. I can tell you
Because
that.
it's horrible, bro. It's horrible, bro. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Parents don't want this at youth football. They only want the wins. They don't want development and wonder why their kid is behind in school. I tend to agree that parents want to win at youth football more than
it's always a happier place when you're on the team that's on the better side of those scores more times than not. That's for sure. We know one thing in this space.
Emmett said, I'll go with the coach that's going to win. I'll develop my own son. That's a good one. Coach one, Richard said, the development coach. My coaches put in work all week for their programs. They're not doing that to be mediocre.
It's true. Well, that goes back to the conversation that everybody, listen, when we're talking about these conversations, if you're working with the kids and you're out there every day, you're doing good work. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the type of coaches. You know what I'm saying? The type of coaches that'll be better for your son. I think that was the question, like your own personal son.
Right. What would your preference be? Colin said, I'm going with the winner. I developed my own. If you want your kid to get a high level, it's not about just the practice development. It's about the individual development outside of practice. True. Game time, winning. I guess
right,
I see
but
it.
if that individual development is not translating to what you're doing on the field, what are you really doing?
Well, he just said he'll develop himself.
Right. No, but but if it's not transferable to what's going on for your game tape, what are you doing then? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. Does the level of competition you're going against matter? I don't, because I think when Tito puts his game plan together for the week and Tito going out to compete, Tito don't lessen his game plan if the other team's sorry. I wouldn't think not. No, Tito don't, right? Like my game planning, I'm going to watch 1,000 hours of film before a championship game. I don't care if the team is 0-10 and they got a free ride into the championship game. The competition is the competition. If you're stepping on the field, I have a duty to break you down, know exactly what you're going to do, and teach my kids how to stop it. And then look at what you're going to do on defense and teach my kids how to beat it. I don't care about your record. I'm going to be honest. I really don't care about the other team's record.
It's still football. Anything can happen.
To me, is a game of matchups.
The ball
Kelly will tell you this. Kelly Russell. Me and him talk about this all the time.
The ball bounce funny for everybody. The ball bounces funny for everybody.
Kelly used to have some of the worst teams in New Haven, Tito, at times. Not all the time, but at times. And this was when I was in my prime. This is like 2013. We were playing all of our games at Trinity, and it was Hartford Hurricanes versus New Haven JV. And I watched Kelly get beat all year, right? I watch him get beat all year. He come into Trinity. His team is like 1-5. I am 6-0. Nobody scored. I got Malik at tailback, Kai that went to UConn at running back. I got Marquise that went to Penn State. I got Tyler that went to Bryant College. All of them on the same team. We know we're going to win the game. And I get out of halftime, Tito, is 6-0. New Haven is playing out of their mind at Trinity College because it's Hartford. Football's a game of matchups. Doesn't matter a record. They lost to all them Division II teams. I watched them lose to Fairfield. Got against us. New Haven kids was hitting us like it was their championship game. I was stunned. I was mad as hell at my kids because I felt like they saw New Haven being 1-6. This is why I'm not a fan of bringing my kids to other teams' football games and having to watch, because your kids tend to get the idea, since that team beat them, then I know we're going to, because we beat that team. I'm not big on that, right? I'm not big on that. And that's what happened. And they went in there thinking New Haven sorry. And Kelly will tell you his team wasn't that good. They was competitive every game, but they weren't good. And it's 6-0 at halftime. And Tito, half of Hartford is at Trinity, and I'm heated. My kids ain't playing. They looking at each other now, stunned, thinking, what the hell is going on? We're the best team in New England. Why are we losing a game? That's what happens. I'm going with the coach who will develop my kid. Most of the Pop Warner champion kids are developed. I will say that most of the championship teams I saw win it all last year, they were highly technical in football. If your kid is a dog, then your kid can change the culture of winning of a team that he is on and become a better football player. So he's going with Coach 1. Facts, Phil. I'm scouting. I'm looking at film too. I never take any team lightly. You can't, Wayne. You'll end up last. I picked Hartford last fall out of 3 programs. I liked how Coach Leary coached the A6 All-Star game, and Jacob played like 6 plays in that game. Leary told me he developed Jacob, and he and his staff were true to their word. He improved quite a bit throughout the season. Shout out, he even played in the national championship game. First time ever for a Hartford kid. Polo, what up? See you in North Carolina. I hear 8U going to Natty. D1 only, baby. D1, it was somebody that put it on the site. They was discussing it. So I felt we could discuss it. Yeah, D1 only, though. Not Division 2, D1 only. That is true. Well, anyway, Tito, I just thought it was important to talk about this. Hey, nephew, jump back on. I thought it was important to talk about this because I get so tired of people trying to pipe down the youth football coaches like our approach is supposed to be different because we're working with kids. Like our approach is not supposed to be different because we're working with kids. I'm going to give y'all an example. Trinity College. I don't know if y'all know this. Trinity College don't have no playoff. They don't have no bowl game. They don't play no championship. Trinity College, I think, play 10 football games and they go home.
Yeah, no, sir. They're like, they follow like how the Big Ivies do the same thing.
Alabama. Go ahead.
The champion is dependent on the record, where your record is. Like if you're 10-0, you know, that look how Harvard and them do it, and look how the Big Ivies do it. Look how the small Ivies do it. Trinity's small Ivy, and it's the same thing. You play your 10 games, and then they figure out who the champion is by the record, points for, points against, all that type deal.
So after their 10 games, they go home. Tito, I said this to you. I guarantee you that Trinity coach that was only playing those 10 games and going home don't want to win no less than the Alabama coach that's trying to win a national championship. Him and his staff is putting in the work. Him and his staff is scouting. Him and his staff is going to practice. They're breaking down film. They're teaching football. Their desire, you can't say, yo, y'all ain't got no championship on the line, so it don't matter anyway. I don't even know why y'all care that much. Stop saying that to you football coaches. I think it's corny, and I think it's said a lot by coaches that didn't win a lot. I bet if you look at the coaches that have posted that online traditionally, they'll think that they won a lot. Look at the totality of their success. You'll always see failure and how they equate the failure back to development, because that's what they fall back on. Oh, I might have lost, but I developed my kids. So now that I beat you, you're saying I didn't develop my kids. Well, I developed them enough to beat you. I know there's a conversation to be had about those, and I just posted something today that got stacked teams and that wins with stacked teams. We'll keep that for another day. He said Trinity College is now playoff eligible. Wow, didn't know that.
Oh,
Thanks for that information. Trinity emphasizes academics more, but I just heard their conference is finally getting the auto bid to D3.
Oh, good. That's good.
True? But is it true that they okay, I agree. You said academics more, not more than anybody else. I think all colleges, I mean, Deion whole roster got over what?
Yeah, but if you get a degree from Trinity, bro, if you get a degree from Trinity, you when you go to those schools, you go into schools for the network that comes with those schools. You get a degree from Trinity, you go in places, dog, in the professional world. Trust me.
Yeah, but that's like Harvard, that's like Yale, that's like any of them. So it don't make Trinity no different. That doesn't mean that it changes anything for the football coach. That's my point. For the football coaches, it all remains the same.
Answering the question there, dog. The question.
No. Yeah, I get it. I'm just saying it remains the same. Anyway, nephew, you there? Yo, he not there yet. Anyway,
he ain't gonna turn his camera on. Why he have his camera on already?
I couldn't even hear him. He jumped off. Maybe he jumped back on. But anyway, I'm just saying that the desire to win always will remain the same.
It should. It should.
All right, he back.
There we go.
What's up, Unc? What's up, Unc?
Nephew.
What's
with
up,
the
Yo,
big
what's
fellas?
good
win,
with you?
with
What's
the
up? What's
big,
up?
with the big win last Saturday, with the
You
big
slap
win.
Jordan Lark, man. Why you do Jordan like that?
Nah,
You know Jordan
nah.
been on a high horse since the fall. You gonna do that to Jordan? Jordan, where you at, Jordan? Jordan, maybe you want to come on, Jordan? You want to come on live?
Put Jordan on.
What was the score? What was the score?
Go ahead, tell him,
It
break
was
down the game.
the score was
Break it down.
26-0. I mean, it was a hard fought game. We
26 zip
just
was a hard fought game.
I thought in
Did
the
you score
beginning it was hard
26 points
fought,
in the
but
fourth quarter?
what was that?
Did you score 26 in the fourth or something at the end of the game?
Nah, it was 14-0 at half, and then we ended up scoring
Yeah,
two
that's
more.
close. That's close. That ain't it ain't like you put up 26 and took the gas off. I got you. That is a close
I
game.
think what hurt Larkin and Top Gun was the onside kicks. We recovered 4, so
Oh,
that was the ultimate factor in that game.
yeah. If they cut that
Was the
out, it might be a
onsides.
game. So it looked like y'all could meet each other again, right?
Not in the springtime, but in the fall time, I think that's gonna be the
Oh, and the spring is over?
yeah. They're in Premier, we're in Standard, so we wouldn't
Oh,
see them
okay.
in
Well,
the
look like you should be in Premier. I'm saying,
that's
look like the Red Raiders, which is your new name. It should be your new name. It look like the New Britain Red Raiders should be in Premier. Hey, Jordan, you still doing the All-Star game, right? Make sure. Let me make
The
sure.
only reason we weren't, the only reason we're not in Premier is because we didn't we didn't decide to do spring till late this year. Like that all came about late. By the time we applied, he said the only place we could go was Standard. So
Standard.
usually
Yeah.
we were in Premier.
Hey, tell me the difference between Premier. All roads lead to Tar Heels, baby.
Oh,
Says
Colin. One thing, if we win Standard and you guys win Premier, we should face each other sometime in June or July.
Uh-oh, Colin.
Look at this.
Uh-oh, Colin. Just saying. Oh, okay, Jordan. Just making sure. Jordan, you feeling a little shaky about that All-Star game now that you know Connecticut got some dogs down here? I'm asking, Jordan. I'm just asking. He said you got it. So talk to me. Spring, what was your record at the end of the spring?
So we ended the season. We ended the season 5-0. 13U ended 5-0 as well.
Okay. Did you play everybody in your division already?
We faced so the first game we faced the Ocean State Steelers, and then the second game we faced Springfield Cowboys. Third game we faced the Outlaws, and then the fourth and fifth game we faced Premier teams and we beat them.
So is it anybody in your division you didn't play?
We haven't faced the Red Dogs yet out of Boston.
No, there was
I believe.
a lot of teams. There was a lot of teams in the Standard divisions.
But I'm talking about the ones in the playoff.
Yeah, we haven't faced a few teams in the play.
Okay.
That are in Standard.
Right.
So
we haven't faced the Boston Ravens. We didn't face the Boston Ravens, Mass Destruction. We didn't face a couple of the guys there neither, because it's only a 5-game season in the spring.
Right.
You feel confident that you could take the chip?
I think with this team, I'm confident that we're gonna win it all.
You gonna win it all?
Yeah.
All right. You're also on the All-Star staff, right?
That's my brother. So my brother's on the All-Star staff.
Oh, but your brother was on your staff for the fall.
He big time me when I offered him to come on the staff. He big time.
So let me get this right.
None of the top head coaches in Connecticut wanted to take. None of the top head coaches in Connecticut wanted to take the All-Star team. That's how I wound up there. But they're all on the staff somehow. They're all on the staff.
Thing is, Josh know what we got in Mass. It's them other dudes who downplayed it. But y'all better listen.
I'd say Lark's team has some dogs. And, a lot of people overlook his team, but I think he'll beat a lot of the Connecticut teams.
I had them as number one, I think. They were the number one. In my combined ranking, they were number one to finish the season last year. Who's overlooking?
Me in the All-Star game. 26 zip, and that's a portion. Imagine when the other stormtroopers come in. Imagine when the other stormtroopers come in.
Yeah.
I'm overlooking them. That's who. Me. That's who. Me, Carlos. I overlook him. That's who. I'm overlooking him. It's no way that he got beat 26 zip Those are your best CT. That's the best backs in CT. Dude, you didn't even see the hit guys out of hit. You know what? You're right. You're right. I can't be leaking secrets.
This is all I will say about the AU situation. They might have had the number one in the final combined poll I had, but Connecticut got the next 4 or 5 best teams in that age group. I believe.
And
so.
therein lies the problem. Though I know about kids out of the kid out of Dorchester. I know about the kid from the Boston Raiders. I got my eye on y'all, Jordan. I know, brother. Y'all not slick. Now we got the best backs in CT. That's 100% fact. All right, we're not about to separate CT and start.
Yeah, we're not about to do that. We're not about to blow this thing up.
This is friendly fire here. Come on, Lou. We can't start shooting at each other.
Tone it down, Lou.
Josh is too humble. Talk to your Josh.
That's not me. I don't talk shit. I don't run my mouth. We just, coach.
So, Josh, who you're the first opponent coming up?
For the playoffs, spring?
Yeah.
We have the Rhodey Elite Athletics.
And you played them before, right?
Nah, we haven't played them.
That's one of the guys.
What's their record? You know their record?
They're I think they're like 1-4.
Oh, okay.
Or 2-3, something like that.
Yup. See, look, y'all talking about y'all got the best running backs. Look who came out of the woodwork. It's all Greg. Don't let him kill two birds with one stone by breaking the rock in half.
Well,
we all together in Connecticut. Don't let them.
Wait till
they ain't even tuck little Pittman away right now, man. Just keep it quiet.
I'm just saying that. I mean, there's gonna be some firepower on the AU team.
That AU game is gonna be a dogfight. It's gonna be a dogfight.
Let me ask you something. When you say it's gonna be a dogfight, you thought you just had a dogfight, didn't you?
Something like that.
Okay, good. Because if you thought you had a dogfight and you won 26-0, if you saying that it's gonna be a dogfight, then you're right. I'll agree with you. Then it's gonna be a dogfight. Like if you saying that the 860 team, the Connecticut team, could win 26-0 and still be called a dogfight, I'll give you that. It could be a dogfight. Like if that's a dogfight, to me that's not a dogfight. 14-6 is a dogfight. 14-7 is a dogfight.
14-12.
12-14 is a dogfight.
2017. 2017.
That's a poodle fight. A poodle was bit by a dog and we had to break up the fight. So dogs were fighting, but it wasn't the same size dogs fighting. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, so and they went up in the Lynn. And they went up in the Lynn. And they went up in the Lynn.
But we gotta lay it on heavy for Jordan because he's been Jordan. See, y'all don't know this. Jordan been killing Connecticut on his posts. Like he's been killing us. Him and Jamar. Here go Jamar right there. I knew it was coming. All I know is in our division for spring, ain't nobody come close to putting up 100 or more points other than the Charlestown Red Dogs, American Youth Football in New Britain.
Charles. Huh? I guess you're talking about the spring. Because we both scored over 100 points. Me and nephew, we both had over 100. I think he's talking about the spring.
Oh, yeah, he said spring. Yeah, I think
he's talking about the spring.
Twins are phenomenal coaches. They get through to these young kids like nobody else. Great communicators to these young kids. Yeah, that's listen. I will say about that level. Now, if you want to talk about, I said you can coach them the same exact way. What I mean by that is, if I'm going to hypothetically, if I'm going to teach a blast out of power, I'm going to teach the blast of power to 9U and 14Us. My install don't change, but how you get through kids on a daily basis matter. How you deal with 9-year-olds in and out of practice so that they open up to you and say, Coach, I don't know what I'm doing. Right? That's the stuff to me that's way more important than anything else in coaching is how do the kids respond to you and how they open up to you? Because kids, listen, I'm going to tell you, all the coaches out there, I've been doing this over 20 years. Kids know when you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, absolutely.
They may not tell you. Yeah. They don't say nothing. If you ever have that one coach that always saying, yo, they don't listen to me. That's because they don't respect that coach knowledge. It's messed up, coach. And I'm not trying to disrespect no coaches out there. But if you find that there's a coach that kids don't listen to, it ain't because he's not screaming or none of that. A lot of kids don't respect your knowledge, so they don't want to listen to you. It doesn't mean that you don't know what you're talking about. You just have not gotten through to those kids to let them know, I know what I'm talking about. Kids know when you don't know what you're doing, bro. They do. And I oftentimes have to tell coaches that kids will know when you don't know what you're doing. Jordan Lark is confused. The parents got to allow us to coach at all levels. Yeah, everybody going to say they got great parents because we all need fall programs. Nobody.
Yeah, but there's a way to manage parents. There's definitely a way to manage. That's part of this, is figuring out how you navigate your way through the.
Tell me your process, Tito. How you're going to be a first-time head coach at 12U for the Hartford Hurricanes. You already know, Tito, you probably got the spiciest parents in my program. I'm just going to be real with you. You got a dope group of parents, but you got a vocal group of parents. How do you go about navigating that process of letting them know, let me do my damn thing and stay out my way?
To me, it always starts up front. It always starts up front with the general interest meeting or the parental meeting. You know, like you have it starts there. The tone sets there, then holding the standard. It's creating the standard and holding the standard. The standard's the standard. Nobody falls below it. You're either gonna fall at it or you're gonna fall off of it. Period. Like that's how I operate, and that's always been my formula. But I'm completely upfront about this stuff. You get what I'm saying? Out in the open, we're gonna talk about it, because when I say what I'm gonna say, it's not for everybody. As you know, it's not for everybody. And when we talk about the commitment level, I don't want you here if you sometime me. If you sometime me, go be sometime me somewhere else. This is for the kids. For me to guarantee my product, you got to do your part. Period. End of story. You hold your end. We're definitely gonna hold our end.
What about you, Josh?
What was that?
So my question is, I mean, you're probably getting back a lot of your same kids for the fall.
Right.
But still, one of the coaches up there, Jordan, said the parents got to allow y'all to coach. You may already have parents that allow you to coach because you've been with your kids for some time. But what if you get some new parents that's not like that? How do you go about making sure that they fall in line and understand I'm the coach, let me do my thing. Right. You're the parent, I'll allow you to do yours.
So I think I've been coaching these kids for a few years now, so a lot of the parents believe in the system, so they know how to fall back, and we set the tone from the beginning. So we try to avoid all the parents from coaching. In the Top Gun game, though, we did have an issue where a parent was trying to come on the field, and I had to let him know, like, you got to get off the field. So I think the parent didn't like it a little bit, but they understand. If you want us to coach your kids up and win and be a part of that winning culture, they gotta get off the field and let us coach.
Simple as that. That's the biggest message that parents don't hear. If your parents out there and you're listening, coaches cannot win when you're interrupting the process. I don't care what the coaching calling system, offense, defense, special teams, I don't care what they do. Whatever they do it to win. When parents are interrupting the process, I don't think they understand how hard that makes it. And I don't think that I know me as a coach in the past, I have went home drained when you have parents that do not trust your process and they're constantly interrupting that process. And you're constantly having to refresh them, like Tito said, of the standard and what you're not going to allow. Like, I would think that most parents that put their kids in this game understand it enough that once Tito has his general meeting and we hit the field, all hands is off deck, talk to my team, mom, let us do what we do on the field because that's our expertise. Those that interrupt that process consistently, I don't think that they understand. Yeah. But more importantly, I don't think that they understand how draining and how detrimental it could be to the team. Like they think that they only said words. It becomes detrimental to the entire team.
And that's why it's very important and fundamental that you keep attendance, that you absolutely keep attendance. Because sometimes the attendance sheet is your best friend in them situations.
Yeah. Because more than likely that kid is missing when mom or dad go, this is my kid.
Whatever your number is, everybody's different. Everybody has a number in their head. Once you exceed it, now it's up to me if you're still on this team.
And you know what the biggest thing for coaches are? Not you guys, but I'm saying it. Let's be honest. We know this to be true. It's most coaches with the standard have a standard, and then they got a SNS, a stud standard. That's when parents exploit you.
But see, that's where
if you got a standard and you do not deviate for your stud, then they have nothing to say. But those that deviate for the stud get that thrown back in their face. You didn't say that to Josh. Right, because he's 6'6", 340 and Phil weigh 150 pounds, you're willing to kick Phil off the team. You ain't kicking Tito off. Okay. You need him to rap and pull.
The standard, right? So the standard applies to the stud as well. Stud. No, with the general, the standard applies to the stud. Period. You go ahead, let him not come to practice. He really won't be playing. I'll lose the game. It will never be their way before it's my way. It will never be their way. And that's just how I'm willing to stand on shit. I can't speak for everybody. I know there's people that'll be like, oh, we can't play without him. Well, we're going to play without him.
Some of the best teams I had ever coaching over 20 years is when the best player on the team, everybody saw that player.
Is your most consistent.
And was my most consistent parent and most consistent player. I'll tell you the year Kia and Buck played. Buck was the best player on the team, and he was the best player on the team, and he was first in every lap, every line, always held himself accountable. It make your job easier when you have the best player on your team, have that general meeting with you, Josh, and that parent's in mind. Because I'm going to tell you why. Parents love the cancer effect. I'm going to tell you what it is. Phil's upset. I bring my team over to New Britain, and I'm playing for Josh. Well, Phil can't say nothing because I ain't got no support. So I need cancer. I needed to develop. So I go off to the side, and I grab Tito. I go, yo, Josh dirty. You say how you playing my son? My son should start. Now, one or two things is going to happen. Either Tito going to sit there and go, yeah, bro, I see it. He's doing the same thing to my kid. Now I got two. Now we each going to branch out and try to make it four. Or he gets the Josh stud who been with Josh, that know Josh system. And Tito says, nah, bro, home ain't like that. Nah, he's playing who he think is best, bro. I'm telling you, I've been with home 3 years. He don't do that type of stuff. It's over right there. Now, in that moment, me as a parent, I can't go to you no more. So you know what? I'm scared to go to anybody else. I'm going, oh, snap. The standard is the standard. He ain't deviating for his son, and his son is the best kid on the team. When your best player adhere to the standard, it makes everybody's job easy. That's what I've noticed over the years. The cancer effect is real, 100%. Because if you get those two to agree, at some point, they're both going to talk to some other parent. Then you start to see a group. And now a group is going, man, he don't know what he's doing. It's just those four. They go way down at the end. Everybody else happy. But, you start hearing something 90 times, like the Baby Shark song. I bet if I throw on a beat, both of y'all know the song. The general, the hardest person in the world, he knows the fucking Baby Shark song. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
He knows
he knows it.
What's that, Baby Shark? So is that one? Is that
when something keeps getting said over and over and over, it starts to get into and that's what I mean about having your core players, your best players buy in. Because unfortunately, or fortunately, however you see it, your best players, and see, your best players aren't always captains in the youth game. Some of them are quiet, but they dogs, right? But when your best players is adhering to the standard, the other players, they notice that. Your home run hard every play. And so I think that makes it easier for all of us as coaches. And again, I think the problem is, let's be honest, y'all know the truth. Like 90% of the coaches change when it comes to their stud. Don't punish the NPR kid because they don't really want him to play anyway. But don't let the starter running back say, yo, he was out. Oh, no, he was getting his teeth fixed. I know the doctor. Like, they know everything about that one. But when this kid missed for the doctor appointment, nah, bro, I got a rule. You can't move. And so if you don't adhere to the standard, I think, throughout the program, I think you create a hard situation for yourself. Just my opinion. I'm big on that parent meeting. Every single one of my coaches got every single one of my head coaches got one. Listen, I'm hands off of everything that my coaches do. Like, you completely run your own team. I don't got time for it. I ain't trying to tell you nothing. I want you to do one thing for me. Have your parent meeting. I just want to be back to listen. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when Josh had this parent meeting and Josh say, you get to miss 5 practices this season. After 5 practices, I'm going to remove you from this team. Or if Josh say, listen, you missed 2 practices in a week, you are not playing for me. That's the rule. When Josh does it, you know the first thing a Hartford parent says? I want to talk to Phil. And they come over and they forget I was at your meeting. You know what they say? He ain't never tell me that. I go, in fact, he did. He had a meeting on September 3rd. I was there, and he had all the parents, and he said this. Now, she could say one or two things. I wasn't at that meeting. That's not nobody's fault. Send someone, right? We do that for school. School giving out information, send someone. Or she was there, she gonna say I didn't hear it. Well, I was there, he said it. I can't back up people that don't have meetings and tell parents their policies up front.
Right.
I think that's important.
Or you got to keep a paper trail of it. Show the document you handed out. By the way, the Knicks are up 12. The Knicks are up 12 with 8 minutes to go in the fourth for the round one. I'm always been a Knicks fan.
I've never seen you with a Knicks nothing in your life.
What you mean? You see me with the blue and red stuff. I mean the blue and orange stuff all the time, dog. What are you talking about?
The Knicks is up 12. Who they playing?
The Pacers.
Oh my
God.
God.
The first round.
The Pacers, man, you could beat the Pacers.
Nah, the Pacers are good, dog.
The Pacers is not good. And ain't nobody beating SGA.
Eastern Conference Finals.
SAG or SGA? Regardless, I'm not. Lakers lost. I don't watch basketball no more.
Yeah.
Everybody, look. Exactly, LJ. Exactly what I'm saying.
Always been a Knicks fan, but okay.
Watch this. Neff, quick question. What's Tito on NBA team?
Tito's NBA team is the Orlando Magic.
See? Tito, you want to get out of here talking about he a Knicks fan.
He ain't no Knicks fan.
Always been a Knicks fan. I do fuck with the Magic. So I don't see my mother live out there. I'll be at the lot of the. I'll be at more Magic games than Knicks games.
He's a Magic fan.
I'll be at more Magic games.
You're not no damn Knicks fan. Y'all better cut it out. And by the way, large piece of Tito that the Knicks don't win it all. You're a Knicks fan.
I didn't say. I said let them win this series. Let them just get there. Let them just get there.
He's never a Knicks fan.
Never. I've never seen Tito in orange and blue. Nothing.
What you talking about?
I don't even think I saw him in the colors.
What you talking about? You see me wearing a Mets hat all the time, dog.
He wear Mets hat and he says he's a Knicks fan.
Like,
he don't buy the Knicks hat. He buy the Mets hat to say he a Knicks fan. Halliburton is a nuisance. Knicks. Yo, Half, were you a true Knicks fan? Like, tell me this, Half. What was the first player that made, when you first started watching the Knicks, who was it? Don't say Patrick Ewing. Give me another name.
I'm going to tell you, Skywalker in the dunk contest. Kenny Skywalker in the dunk contest in 89.
He did some crazy, everything. The whole world knew Kenny Skywalker at that point. I was a Lakers fan watching Michael Cooper, and I was a kid.
Just saying. You asked to be the first recollection. Mark Jackson. Jackson.
Now Fred is the Knicks. Who else? Come on, coaches. Just come out the woodwork. Who else? We got Fred. Mason. We got Half.
Charles Oakley. John Stark. Derek Harper.
Anthony Mason wouldn't be able to play today.
Derek Harper.
Anthony Mason would be kicked out of the NBA if he played today. He used to clothesline people and then offer you the head up after he did it.
What about Charles Oakley? He was no better.
Yeah, he was no better. He was no better. Yo, dog,
Latrell.
it was.
What about
yo,
when we had Spreewell? When we had Latrell. When we had Spreewell.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Allen
I'm gonna
Houston.
tell you this.
Allen Houston.
Allen Houston was nice. I'm gonna tell you this though. Those old Knick teams, Oakley.
We had your old classmate, Marcus Camby. Your old classmate. Your Harvard Public brethren.
Yes,
Your
yes,
Harvard Public brethren.
I grew up watching the Brawlers. Charles Oakley, and Anthony. Now let me tell y'all something about Charles. If y'all had those two today in the NBA,
they're worse than Draymond.
Draymond Green, he will not act the way he act with those players.
No.
Like Draymond Green,
Lambeer would have beat up
Lambeer.
They didn't catch him to beat him up. Even Charles Barkley was a tough guy. Charles Barkley was a tough guy.
What's my boy? Oh man, rest in peace. His brother worked at the pub as a security guard. Rick Mahorn. Yo, dog, that era of basketball. See, I think people forget. They keep going. Players weren't as talented. It was certain stuff you couldn't do,
bro. You could not go.
If I didn't want you to go to the hole, I just clothesline you and I walk off. People didn't help you up. Nobody helped you up.
There was none of these rules. You was getting hand checked, running through picks, elbows.
Yeah, all of y'all lost a lot of games to Jordan. Now, Knicks wasn't the best fighting team. The Pistons was the best team, bro. The Pistons was right. Like the Pistons, the bad boys, they were about it. Like they might have been the toughest football team.
Go watch them.
Charles Smith. Yes. Charles had it. Yo, I'm gonna tell y'all though.
Charles Smith from Bridgeport. He played for the Knicks. He's from Bridgeport. Charles Smith from Bridgeport. He played for the Knicks.
But John Starks checked Jordan every game. I had to give him props. I just said that. John Starks. Yeah.
John Starks was.
Yo, Starks choked Carlissimo. I thought it was
No, Spreewell. Spreewell choked PJ Carlissimo. Spreewell. Latrell Spreewell choked.
This era of NBA players are better. Luke, don't say better. Say more talented.
I'll give you more athletic. They're more athletic in this era.
It would be the under 30s to say that. But let me tell you something.
They're more talented. They could shoot further.
But they wouldn't have survived. They wouldn't have survived in the 90s.
But they're not better basketball players.
They wouldn't have survived. Gary Payton would have locked any of these dudes up right now. Gary Payton locked these cats up.
He would have been put. Remember this? He was the one that created. I can do this and I can push you out without you being called.
Cats don't give Jordan enough. Yo, Jordan was a hell of a defender, bro. He was a good on-the-ball defender, good off-the-ball defender. Scottie Pippen was a great defender. Who remembers Bruce Bowen? Bruce Bowen was a crazy defender. Was a crazy defender.
And he hit that corner three.
We can talk about basketball for days.
I got a different outlook on that.
Why didn't Ewing dunk the ball more? I didn't understand. Ewing was one of the biggest dudes in the NBA.
My uncle used to
always say, the ball all the damn time.
They should have practiced dunking with Ewing. He would never dunk the ball at all. He would never dunk the ball.
I never understood that.
But he said,
Indiana, who Indiana had? I know they had some
Reggie Miller. They had Reggie Miller. Chuck Pearson. Those years, Jamal Tinsley was their point guard. They had Chris Mullin. Didn't they have Mullin those years? No, that was Golden State. Mullin. At the end of his career, Mullins was with the Pacers, wasn't he?
Mullins, he with the lefty.
He was with at the end of his career. He was with the Pacers.
Technology. If the players back then had today's training and technology,
they had Dale Brown. They had Dale Brown and Antonio Brown. I mean Antonio.
They had them
two dudes. Them two big dudes, Antonio and Dale.
They did.
They had some teams, cuz.
His knee was bad. Didn't Chris Childs put some hands on someone?
Chris Childs, he slapped Kobe. He slapped Kobe. What? He tried to slap Kobe.
No, he sucker punched him twice. He gave him the two-piece.
Yeah, he sucker punched Kobe. He's trying to be funny.
Yeah. You trying to be funny. You trying to be funny, have you? Oh, we already know.
Oh, Ron Artest was on those teams too.
We already know what is that? What is the fight called in Detroit? Rumble in
the
the
Palace, the Melee in the Palace, whatever.
the
The
Melee
Malice in the Palace.
Ron
Yeah,
Artest
the
ran up
Malice in
there.
the Palace.
Yo,
Malice
I'm
in
gonna
the
tell you what
Palace.
people don't remember. Ron Artest ran up there and fought, but who was it that threw a haymaker at that kid?
Steven Jackson. He was on them pacing teams too. Steven Jackson. Stat.
No, but there was somebody that ran up in the stands.
Steven Jackson, dog. I'm telling you, Steven Jackson. I was watching the game live. Steven Jackson.
Oh, that happened against Indiana?
Yeah, that was Jackson and Artest.
Detroit.
It was
Ben
against,
Wallace
it was,
and Artest. Ben Wallace and Artest started beefing.
Yeah, Indiana versus Detroit.
Then all hell broke loose.
Yo, listen, man. These new players wouldn't be able to deal with this. Watch this. Bingo. Like right there, in today's NBA, they want you kicked out. That's Ben Wallace. We ain't gonna watch it all. Okay, let's back up. That's Ben Wallace. This is Artest. Where Artest at? Nope, that ain't Artest.
Who's that? Travis Best right there. That looked like that was Travis Best.
They go Steven Jackson right there. It was the brothers, I think, and Steven Jackson threw a haymaker at him.
Nah, Artest
Watch
goes
this.
in the
Watch.
crowd like an idiot.
Steven Jackson threw a haymaker at somebody and missed. Right there.
Ooh,
Oh, I thought he missed. It looked
Nah,
like he
he
might
ain't missed,
laid him out.
He laid him out.
Bombed on him, cuz.
Yo, listen, I'm gonna be honest. We never thought, like, as much as we talk about calming down football and sports today, we never thought back then that those type of scenes would become a norm. Like, you see that at basketball games all the time now. Parents coming down.
A crazy scene like that? You know what was a crazy scene like that nobody talks about? When Bernard Hopkins was in Puerto Rico and stomped on the Puerto Rican flag when he was fighting Trinidad in the pre-fight shit. They had him running through the goddamn Coliseum crazy. The whole shit was trying to get to him.
Yo, so I'm gonna tell you a story, right? We was watching. It was Puerto Rican. Who was it? Who was the Puerto Rican fighter? Tito.
Trinidad
versus Floyd.
Bernard Hopkins.
Did he fight Floyd?
No,
he didn't fight Floyd.
Cotto was Floyd. Cotto fought Floyd.
All right, so Cotto. I'm on the bush. I'm back home. It's me, KO, my boy Jose, and my boy Jose brought these. This is way back in the day. Everybody, he brought these Spanish girls.
They fought in 2011. Miguel Cotto versus Floyd Mayweather.
2011. No,
that was 11. 2011.
But anyway, but he brought these Spanish girls through the block, and so we on Garden Street inside the apartment. This is a true story. I'm gonna tell you how I know he was running through the Coliseum after stumping on the Spanish flag.
Oh no, that's Bernard Hopkins. You talking about that? That's 25 years.
No. I'm telling your story. I'm gonna tell you why I believe it. I haven't seen it. I'm gonna tell you why I believe it. So no lie. Who was it? One of my boy, I think it was my boy Poop from the block. He had the American flag, like, yeah, you about to whoop your ass, blah, blah, blah. And the Spanish girls was like wilding. They was from Park Street. They was hood. They was wilding. And they had the Puerto Rican flag. So, bro, they grabbed the American flag and like, he gonna whoop his ass, and stomped on the joint. I grabbed the Spanish flag, Puerto Rican flag. It's like, we gonna whoop his ass. I was joking, bro. They tried to roll on me. I swear to God. I'm like, yo, we joking. They're like, no, bro, that's disrespectful. You gotta see us. I'm like, yo, Kay, get these girls out of here. Like, they're wilding, dog. Like,
that had to be the Trinidad Hopkins fight. That had to be that one. So that was that long ago. Would you that story you're telling got to be from 25 years ago? Yeah.
I believe that because I was joking and they did it and we had to calm it down. I'm like, yo, I'm sorry. Like, y'all taking it too serious. Like, I didn't even really care that.
Bernard Hopkins whooped Tito ass. He whooped Trinidad ass that night too.
He
did. So bad. I became a B-Hop fan. I mean, he beat him down.
He beat him down. And I'm going to tell you something right now.
Beat him down.
I almost didn't get out of that apartment after he beat him. Beat him down. What I did. Them girls almost didn't want to let me out the apartment. They wasn't messing around. But anyway, yo, listen, nephew, good luck in the playoffs.
Yes, sir. I'll see you
Definitely.
We're
tomorrow.
gonna stay
Yeah.
tuned. We're gonna make sure that we tap in and tap in with you after like when you in the championship. So you can come back on, be humble.
And the
Definitely.
general,
We might have
the
to bring you
general's gonna be on it.
We need somebody to talk a little. You know what I'm saying? I think your brother would do it while you sitting there like, yo, this dude's crazy. That's
The
all.
general gonna be on a hiatus too for 2 weeks. I got some big things coming up. This will be the last time y'all seeing me from this location. The next time,
Hey, and next week, all we're going to have on is all-star coaches. It's going to be a completely NEBCS all-star coaches live discussion. That's it. It's going to be no talking points. It's all about the all-star game next week. I just want everybody to know that. General is going to be back with us in 2 weeks. Next week is going to be all-star coaches. I just want to put that on everything. Anyway, nephew, peace out, man. Good luck.
All right, fellas.
Thank you for putting the beat down on Lark. Hopefully, Lark don't post no more Connecticut shots before now in July 12th. So I appreciate.
We closing in on the day. We closing in on the day, Mr. Lark. We closing in on the day.
Lark, we coming, baby. We keep blowing that game. Yo, so listen, I'm finding that none of the mass coaches feel comfortable coming on the podcast to discuss.
Nah, it ain't easy for cats to come on. It's all good.
What's up, Mass? What's up with y'all coaches? Coaches, y'all want to come on the podcast and talk to Connecticut? Connecticut coaches asking to talk to you. I need a couple coaches that's about it out in Mass that's willing to talk. Because I'm hearing that that Mass don't feel comfortable coming on the podcast to talk about the All-Star game. This is how I've been warning y'all. I don't know if y'all ready for this situation. I don't know. Jordan, next week, you on, baby, 9 o'clock. You first up. Bring a couple of the All-Star coaches with you. Talk to them. Tell them I'll be nice. I'll make sure Connecticut don't comment in the chats. We'll be nice to you guys. Tell them we'll wait for Manchester to get rowdy. We'll be nice. Tell them don't be scared, man.
Let's go, bro. We past scheduled time.
I'm neutral, Lark. I'm neutral. What we biased on? I'm neutral.
Well, we first CT.
Here's the thing, Jordan.
We ain't biased. It ain't 203-860 no more. You don't have to worry about that. You don't got to worry about that. We're absolutely biased. This is us versus them. This is us versus them.
I'm gonna be Dolo next week.
So and y'all bit. And y'all bit. And y'all bit.
I'm gonna be Dolo.
And y'all bit our theme. Y'all bit like this. Nah. This is us versus them, cuz. This is us versus them. All of a sudden, they the 6th State Army. No, we've been running with that 5th State Army thing. Like, all right, it's all good. It's all good.
Dang, Jordan, 5K.
Here we go. The Link Cats always want to be throwing money. Astronomical numbers on the youth game. Pete Rose shit. You see that? Pete Rose shit. You see, they ban Pete Rose for life. And there you guys go. Jumping out the window. Jumping out the window.
Hey, Jordan.
It won't be friendly with that type of bread on the line, cuz.
Jordan, afterwards, we're going to go to Dave and Buster's.
Oh, we're going to talk big shit.
I want to bet an order of 15 wings, fried hard, flats only. He is free, Jordan. You're right. They just freed him. They waited till he died and said, man, let him go.
Yeah,
they freed him after he died. He is.
They're going to do Barry Bonds like that, too. This turned into a real sports podcast tonight. The Barry Bonds ain't, they're going to do him like that, too. When he died, they're going to let him in. You watch.
Huh?
Oh. They're gonna do Barry Bonds. They're gonna do Bonds like that too.
I mean, Leo, that's who knows? I don't
know.
Bro,
to me, it wasn't cheating what Bonds did. Everybody was doing it. You had to do it if you wanted to compete. Everybody was doing it. It was an epidemic in baseball with the steroids.
I ain't saying 30. I'm just saying straight up win. I ain't sticking with 30, bro.
That wasn't that. That didn't come from us. That ain't come
I ain't say 30. Don't get me wrong. I said an order of wings. I'm talking straight up. You're not getting 30 from me.
Oh, shit. Look at Jordan Knight. Leave the booger sugar alone. Oh, my God.
Nate trolling. Anyway, Tito, your boy PH the Prez, Mr. Above 140.
It's your boy, Coach Career, the General, Fifth State Army. Peace to the guys and the earths. I'll see y'all in 2 weeks from the General's new outpost.
Yo, Tito, I want to tell a story real quick. I heard a pastor say this. This is a dope story, y'all. Just stay with me for like 2 minutes. So I heard a pastor say, his daughter asked him, and y'all might have saw, I said this, but I'm going to say it again. His daughter said, Dad, can you put on that song, I Believe I Could Fly? You know, I believe I could fly. Yeah. You know, think about it every night. So follow me, right?
Especially with Puffy on trial. But anyway.
Yeah, so he said he threw the song on, and right after he listened, by the way, that is my mother's favorite song. I listen to that song all the time. It makes me feel close to her. But here's the bigger point. He said he put that song on for his daughter, dog. And right afterwards, his daughter said, Dad, I want to go play basketball. So he said he took her outside and she played ball. He said he never told her who sung the song or what they did. Never told her who sung the song or what they did. And he said he knows that if he had shot down that dream and she thought about that, she would not have went and played basketball, because he wouldn't have been able to say, honey, you need to go, you need to go outside and work on your game. But the song, Tito, made her feel, I believe I could fly. Remember, Michael Jordan, all that. It made her feel like, dang, I want to play ball. So he utilized it to help her for her blessing. What was the purpose of that? I heard the pastor say this. I just want to tell y'all this before I go. That a lot of times, a lot of us are missing our blessings because we're waiting for the person to bring our blessings, and we're waiting for that person to be perfect. Sometimes you get blessings from people that's not perfect, that got problems, that ain't got the best history, etc. God brings blessings in different ways. However that blessing come to you, accept it. Do not block your blessing because you're waiting for it to come from the perfect person that has to be in God's image. That's all. That's a quick thing. Accept your blessing, brother. All right, your boy PH. I'm out. Peace, love, and hair grease.
Peace.
We got a fun-filled show tonight.
I met a boy today.
It's your boy, Coach Career, the General, A60 Army.
She loving my style every time I'm
You ain't need more money, Tito. You could have just invited 6 or 8 you down to nationals.
I'm around.
When certain people don't get their way or they feel slighted, they feel like they have a right to call us and voice their opinion. You don't.
We locked
Clear. I've never removed a staff to allow a staff to move up.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Now everybody's a personal trainer. We know who the originals are, but now if you look, you can find them in every town.